Hello, hello. Welcome to Blessed Girl TV. How are you today? My name is Dr. Anana, and I am super excited to have you here to join our session. I always can say, because truly, this is the day that the Lord has made, and we shall rejoice and be glad in it. So we thank you for joining us another Blessed Girl TV broadcast. So if you are chiming in from our Blessed Girl TV YouTube page, our Facebook page, and if you're on my personal page, you're in the right place at the right time. And so we thank you for watching. We certainly we're grateful to have our global audience. So as you come in, engage, say hello. Say how you doing. Let us know where you're watching from. So even though we are virtual, we like to what we're using high technology, but we also want to have high touch and be able to engage and meet everyone that is connected to us. So grateful for you being here on Blessed Girl TV. Again, my name is Dr. Anana. I am the founder of Blessed Girls TV, Blessed Girls Global. And here at Blessed Girls, we educate, we empower, and we inspire girls and women to be bold, to be you, and to be blessed, right? And so if you're watching, say, hey, I'm a blessed girl. Be bold, be you, be blessed. I am blessed. So welcome. And just to let you know, Blessed Girls, we really offer a wide range of services and areas of youth civility, speaking, life skills training. We have an awesome outreach program, which is our Pads and Panties program. And we look to aid in Indian period poverty through that program here in the United States and around the globe. And so I'm excited today because we have an amazing platform, if you don't know, which is our 4Cs. And our 4Cs Youth Civility Program, it allows young people to take the lead and share their ideas, their concepts, and their solutions. And I always stop because you know what? We can all see the problems. We can clearly see some of the things that are ailing humanity, right? But it is something else for someone to say, listen, what are some of the solutions? What can I do to be a part of the solution? And one thing we teach our young people, is to look for the solution and look and see how they can be the solution, right? And so I'm grateful for our 4Cs Youth Civility Program, and our 4Cs is civility, community, creativity, and climate change. And so we give our young people the space to learn, to share their views and their experiences on one of the 4Cs. And so we thank God we actually have 2 editions of published books where we've helped young girls and boys, as well as women around the world, to become published authors. And we are now working on our 3rd edition of the 4Cs. And so stay tuned for that. But again, it's just been an awesome opportunity and just a God vision and a God moment in that space. So for Blessed Girls TV, what we do a lot of times, especially for our global audience, is to bring resources, to bring training, to bring various programs that uplift our youth. How about that? Because there's a lot of things out there sometimes, especially as adults, we don't consider some of the challenges that our young people are facing. We know, and we've been focusing on a lot of mental health lately for our teens, because sometimes we take for granted some of the things that they're going through, the challenges that they're facing. And so I'm grateful. If you watched last month, we had an amazing session celebrating BIPOC Mental Health Awareness Month. And so today I have the honor, and you all who may know, we just returned back from Kenya. Whoop, whoop. Shouts out to all the midwives and the Blessed Girls and the team that was with us in Nairobi and visiting the Maasai village. So we just really came back. We've only been back for a few weeks. And it was an incredible experience to travel back to Kenya. We had our Youth Civility Summit. And one thing we did is with our 4Cs, we honor and we recognize youth civility champions. I like to say our unsung heroes and people that are serving and working to uplift young people. And so while we were in Kenya this time, and I could say right now, I think we've recognized raised about eight to nine people around the world in the area of youth civility with our 4Cs Youth Civility Championship award. So today, if you saw the heading, I'm grateful to introduce our 2023 Youth Civility Champion out of Kenya. And I had the privilege of meeting this amazing, amazing woman. I've been watching her now from about 2 to 3 years, I think. I was introduced to her and I've been watching her organization and the work that she does. And this time, going back to Kenya, I said, I got to meet her. I want to learn more about her organization. And so I'm grateful today that I've had the opportunity to meet her in person, learn more about the work that she does. But now I get to share her with you and share her with the world, right? So today I'm going to introduce to you all. Hello, hello. I'm getting to watch and share some of the comments. I'm multitasking. But I have the opportunity to introduce to you the founder of Talitha Teens Organization, Foundation, if you will. And so, like I said, I've been watching her, and I want to tell you a little bit about her foundation because, you know, with our Pads and Panties project, we're looking to really work with, of course, just with Blessed Girls is uplifting girls and women, right, who are the foundation of any culture, right, of any community. And so this project is something that's near and dear to my heart, and I've learned about it from traveling globally. And so I want to highlight her. I want her to come on and talk about the mission, the vision that God gave her, and just her experience and her engagement with Blessed Girls, if you will. But let me just tell you about Talitha. It's really about raising confident girls, right? And inspire them to achieve their purpose in God. And y'all know I'm about purpose. Being a midwife, we are purpose pushers. So I love that. And as a product, they do mentoring. They do a lot of uplifting and building building young people all around Kenya. And so I'm just grateful to have her today. She literally has, and she's going to share like how it got started, and how it just started with, you know, with a vision and having people to come on and join her. So I'm grateful for the founder of Talitha. And this one thing I wanted to tell you about her before she comes on, is like she really has like the heart of God. Like she really wants to be a blessing to the kingdom of God. And doing that, this is just one piece of the work and who she is. So I want to bring her on, but I want to just tell you that what she does, I'm going to go back. I was trying to make sure my notes they have, it's menstrual hygiene, right? They focus on mentoring girls with their dignity campaign and leadership development. Doesn't that sound familiar? Doesn't that sound, I thank God for the synergy, for the connection, the collaboration of Blessed Girls and Talitha. And so I'm going to bring her on. Let me manage my controls here. Miss Carol Tudor. Oh, I'm saying it right. I'm going to bring her up. Let's see. There she go. There she go. There she go. There
Yes,
she
you're
is.
right.
How are you today?
I am well. I am well. So excited to join you on Blessed Girl TV.
Indeed, indeed. We are so grateful to have you working behind the scenes and learning more about Talitha Teens Foundation and where you mentor and you raise up teenage girls to be women of confidence and
Mm-hmm.
dignity, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then
Oh,
giving
yeah.
them to empower them to impact the generations, right?
Yes,
So I'm
you're
just so
very
grateful. And one thing I saw is that it actually began in Soweto,
right. Yes. Actually, well, it's
right?
a name. I guess the name got picked from South Africa.
Uh-huh.
It's called Soweto, Kayole Soweto slums in Nairobi.
Got you. Oh, see, you know, when you see Soweto, I thought about, and then I remember you being in South Africa doing mission work there. So I was like,
Yes.
okay, tell me about that. So we're just grateful for you to be here at your busy schedule. Of course, being a mom, a woman of faith, and a daughter, doing so many amazing things. But just welcome and thank you for being our champion, being our unsung hero, and doing the work that you do. So we're grateful for that. So thank you. And tell the audience
Thank
a bit
you.
about who you are, and then we
Okay.
can go into Talitha. But I always love one of our organizations is our Moms on a Mission, and really dealing with the heart of the woman, and who you are, and your identity and who God called you to be, and then your ability to walk out on faith and do that and become that.
Yeah.
So go ahead. I'm gonna turn it over to you for a little bit. Talk to the
All
folks.
right. Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Anana. The pleasure is all mine. We are blessed also to meet you, and we are so grateful to have met you. I love what you said right now about the synergy. I really feel like I met my tribe when I met you guys. And I can hear that we are in sync when we are working and really touching lives in the kingdom. I am one person who really believes there is so much more out of my life. It's not just, I don't exist for myself. I always say that. I may not have had a perfect growth, a perfect childhood and all that, but I know and I believe that there is so much more out of my life. And so there is so much more God has given me. So like you said, my name is Carol Tudor. I am a Kenyan. I'm proudly Kenyan. I love it that God placed me in this nation in this particular time. I am a mother of one and 6-year-old girl. And my heart is really for the girls, the teenage girls, to be raised up, to be confident women, to work out their purpose, because I do believe every one of us has a purpose. We are born with it, but we cannot talk about purpose away from God, because He's the one who placed it in us. So every one of us was born for a reason, for a time, for a purpose, even for a season, and even for a particular geographical area. So I do believe, having grown up as a girl in this nation, we always see God really using the issues that we've gone through and maybe the challenges that we have had in our lives to be able to touch other people's lives. So I grew up in Kenya, in central Kenya, for those who are Kenyans and they can see us. And I grew up and was raised up by a single mother. I am also an only child, but I do have very many relatives and cousins and all this in the kingdom. But having grown up, I did face quite a lot of challenges. Some of them come from a poor self-esteem, just being very naive, being very timid, not being able to speak up. And yet, as I have grown, I've seen that God actually has given me a lot of leadership abilities. So He picked me up from that timid girl and has given me a voice. I think that's one of the things God said to me. He's given me a voice and He asked me to lead women. And He put on my heart to really touch the lives of teenage girls. Talitha Teens Foundation was just started by me going to the slums that Dr. Anana talked about in Kayole, Soweto. And I was there volunteering and serving the teachers and just helping them out. I'm really not a teacher by profession, but I've been raised by a teacher. My auntie, who is now my mother, has really raised me up. And while I was there, I could see girls speaking to the teachers. And some of them, one particular girl came and talked to a teacher, and all the teachers had an awkwardness on their faces. And they put together some money and they gave her. And then I said, what's going on? What is happening? Especially the male teachers. They looked very awkward on their faces. And I was told they actually were giving her money to buy sanitary pads. So I was touched. And I kept asking, what's going on? What is this about? Why is it happening in school? And somebody told me the girls in that area, they have to use, either they use dirty rags for their sanitary hygiene, or they stay out of school for 4 days a month because they cannot afford sanitary pads. Some of them will exchange pads for sex, and there was a lot of teenage pregnancies and absenteeism in school. And I love to say that this touched me because it took me back to the days that I grew up. Yes, I have a loving mother. She's still alive. I'm sure she's going to come across to see this. But I was really struggling to even speak up and say, this is what I'm going through. Why? Because many of us, and in our culture, it is taboo to talk about periods, just as it is taboo to talk about sex. But where else do we expect to have this conversation happening than happening from our homes? So because this conversation had not happened for me, I couldn't even tell how am I going to have this conversation with my mom. So all I used to find ways to say, I need 100 shillings. Oh, I'm having a stomachache. I would just find ways to say I'm having an issue. So it was always such a problem for me. And then I could also see girls coming to school and soiling their dresses in school. And it becomes a laughing stock So do you know how having menses without being prepared really affects a girl? So this is where we all started. And as I went along, I came out and asked my friends to help me to get sanitary pads for the girls in Kayole. And every time I would ask my friends to respond, I started by sending SMSs. I'll send my SMSs to everyone. I looked for my close friends. I looked to my friends in church, and I told them, and people started to give. So we went and gave them sanitary pads. And immediately after a few months, the director told us there is a direct change in class. The girls are staying in class. There is a direct impact on their education, and the girls are actually changing in their grades. They are staying in class, and you can see an improvement. Now they feel confident to stay in class and be able to share, to be able to go through education with the other girls. So I think this mission really was birthed out of my own story or my own journey or my own need and how I grew up. And because periods are something that we face every single month, I continue to see how important it is for a girl. And I'll tell you more about how we have grown.
Yes. Yeah. No, because you know what? There's so much to it, and I don't want it to get lost. I want to go back from the beginning. And you're saying how, girls would use anything that they had, right? And do anything to get money to purchase them. And
Yes.
so, like, I want people to understand that, like, this is a real thing, and that a girl would have to sell her body, right? To have money to get pads, sanitary napkins, right?
Yes.
And that's reality, a reality that we don't speak about, right? And that level of shame and how degrading that is, right? We're dealing with confidence, right? The spirit of a girl that becomes a woman, right? That early on, this is something that naturally happens, and she has to trade her body for money, right? And so that is so profound. And I think we just gloss over that so much. You know what I mean? I need people to get that, right? To understand that. And that's how critical and how vital. And when I learned that, I said, oh no. Like, this is something we have to talk about. So I just wanted to stop right there, right? And make sure people under really understand how critical that is. And then you have the results of it. And so, and this is not just in Kenya, guys. So even though I'm in the United States, I've been to Kenya, but understanding that even in the United States, they say like 50% of girls still go through period shaming. They still do not have enough. So period poverty is all around the globe. It's not just specific, right? But it's one of the most natural functions in the world. There's not a girl that you're going to meet. There's not a woman that you're going to meet that doesn't get her period, right? But these are the things that's happening. And so it's a huge problem all around the world. So I just wanted to share, I think the 1%, it's like 52% of the women, right? Even in the United States, they experience period shaming, right? If clothes are stained and things like that. So I just wanted to bring that in perspective, for everyone, what period shaming is, what women go through every day, all around the world.
Everywhere. This happens even in our workplaces. Unfortunately, the other day we published an article, we put it on our page, that there was a manager who said, we have found a pad, improperly disposed in an office. And so they shamed all the women. All the women have to, and like, what is all that? Like, what? Like, yes, it's disposed wrongly. Can you just take it and dispose it properly or something? Why do you have to question every woman? Like you said, periods are such a natural process of our bodies. Yeah, we have to talk about this even from home and say, you can choose to have sex, but you can't choose to have periods. Every single month they come. And let me tell you the mental stress that you have as a girl, knowing that your periods are coming and you don't know what you're going to do. You need to go through life. You need to go to class. You need to find your way. You need to talk to somebody. If you don't have you don't have sanitary pads, you don't know anything about yourself. I think for me, it goes all the way back to a woman understanding her body, a girl understanding her anatomy. Let me tell you a funny story. One time I was in high school and I had really stressed. I was tired of asking my friends to give me their sanitary pads. And because I'm a believer and I'm a Christian, I started to pray, oh God, take away these periods. Take them away because I need to focus on my exams. And, when I think about that prayer I was making that time, it's because of the ignorance that I had, that I didn't know. You cannot pray away your periods. They will come. every single month. And everybody experiences differently. Some are painful than others. But the fact that I didn't know that this is part of my everyday life, I was having that stress because I don't have the products. And it's important that we talk about this. Let me tell you, sanitary pads are such a basic thing, but yet such a luxury at the same time. And that is why I feel it's such an important thing to give a girl sanitary pads, because you impact their self-esteem, you deal with period poverty, you impact their confidence, you give them an intervention, and you allow them to go through normal life without getting worried about it. And some of the things that happen to us in our childhood, we are talking about childhood trauma these days a lot. Some of the things that happen to us when we are children, they stay with us. I will always remember the girl who was shamed in our class. She was the brightest girl in class. She stepped out to go. The teacher asked her to go and do a calculation on the board. And she goes out there and her dress is stained. And the boys are giggling and laughing about it and break time. And this stays with her. It's not because she wants it. So these conversations have to be had. How will men treat women when they are on their periods? How will boys behave about their sisters and their classmates while they are on their periods? Because yes, you can have an accident, but you need to be able to know this is normal. We always have this hashtag, normalize periods. They are normal. They are our everyday life. And that is why you see girls looking for ways. When you know that I need to go through this, that's why it stresses you. That's why it stresses your self-esteem. That's why you feel I need to find a way to deal with this. And that's why someone can sell their body, sadly, to get a basic need. Yeah.
Indeed. It's just I'm glad that you listen, to have a champion like you out there making this happen and making a difference. It just gives me so much hope and so much inspiration. So of course I thank you. I'm honored to come and meet you in person, to present you with the award, and understanding that you started the foundation in 2012.
Yes, back then we
Back
actually
then.
we didn't have proper
then.
photos. We didn't have proper lighting. We didn't even have a brand. We didn't even have a name, actually. I used to call it a bad project. So I am deeply, deeply, deeply grateful for the journey that we have walked and the many people that have come alongside us to help us get the best girls. Yeah.
Amen. So that part, 2012, and here we are now in 2023. First of all, you stood the test of time, right? I'm sure there were plenty of times you wanted to give up, right?
Yes,
and things didn't work out. And so what keeps you going? What keeps you so dedicated and so committed and keeps you moving forward with this foundation and your team?
All right. So I think number one, like I said, this passion is from my own story. And I know the importance of having sanitary pads. I also know, like I said, how it impacts. The impact speaks a lot. It speaks a lot. The impact on education, the impact on self-esteem of the girls, the impact on the confidence, the impact on girls being able to pursue their dreams. That really helps me. And the other one is that I have a lot of friends, even around the world. I still do not have like a proper donor, like a proper thing, like we have funding coming through. Every time we get on social media and we ask people to give, people give. So that tells me that people are beginning to really understand the importance of girls having sanitary pads and being educated on the importance of it. And we not just talk about sanitary pads, we also tell them about hygiene. We also talk about the disposing aspect and all that. So we try to come to where the girls are. That is what keeps me going. But last but not least, just knowing, like I said, my life has a purpose, my life has a commission and a mission from God. You see, when you talk about Talitha, if you go to the book of Mark chapter 5, you will see Jesus coming, walking, going to heal a girl, or rather resurrect a girl in the Jairus' daughter in Mark chapter 5. And on his way, the woman with the issue of blood comes and touched the hem of his garment. There was faith in that woman's life to touch Jesus, and she was healed. And then he goes and lifts this girl by her hand and says, Talitha Kumi, which means, little girl, I say to you, arise. So when God gave me this commission, being a believer, I really believe when God gives you a word, he actually gives you the grace and he helps you to go. Yes, sometimes we feel discouraged. Sometimes we are like, oh, the money's not coming through and all kinds of challenges that we face. as an organization, but having the word of the Lord really keeps us going. You know that he will
Okay.
honor, he will stay true to his word.
So
He
wait.
will.
So when God gives you the word, He gives you the grace.
He
Did you say
gives
that?
you the
He gives
grace
you
to
the
keep
grace.
going.
Somebody,
He
y'all put that in the
does.
comments, okay?
He
That God will give
does.
you the grace. I raised both hands,
Yes.
toes,
Amen.
everything to that.
Yes, yes. And
Amen.
having friends
Amen.
like you come alongside us,
Yeah.
this is God's doing. This is
Amen.
his work. This
Indeed.
is his doing, really. This is him leading us and connecting us with other
Yeah.
like-minded people. I've always prayed that. I've always said, God, please connect us with like hands, like
Mm-hmm.
hearts, and like
Yeah.
minds, so that
Amen.
our hearts are beating in the same direction and we can see change in the lives of girls.
Amen. Amen. I love it. I love it. Always talking about grace. That grace is sufficient every day. Listen, you
Oh,
said we get through the project, we get through whatever it is each day, and we work the next. God got that. So He
yes.
certainly has and sustained you and your organization and your team. So tell me about Dignity
Okay. So along the way, like you said, we stood the test of time. Along the way,
Yeah.
I remember I would leave Kayole every year and I'll be like, I want to come back and see these girls, but what do I do with them? I want to keep this going. And I have this heart of mentoring girls because that's how I was raised. I had an amazing spiritual mother, Mama Esther. She went to be with the Lord and she really mentored me like she did life with me. I have another lady, she works with us also, Josephine Kamau. She's part of our team. She's really a spiritual mother to me. I can name a few of them. I think I have a friend also in US. Most of them really walked with me, did life with me, really held my hand. And every time I'd go to Kayole, I'd be like, what more can I do with these girls? And because I have a background in missions, I was raised up by youth with a mission in South Africa. I had met a wonderful friend. She's called Alkia Brower, and she started a campaign called the Dignity Campaign. And one time they just told me, Carol, we want you to come and want to train you as one of our international facilitators. I said, what is this about? And they gave us a tool. This tool is called Dignity Day. So during Dignity Day, we actually get to talk about purpose. We get to talk about identity. We talk about belonging. We talk about the menstrual health, hygiene, and everything that is around. Even we talk about the products, we expose them to this. And for me, the Dignity campaign gave me a tool to mentor the girls. So the Dignity Day is just the initial day that we start these conversations. It's actually a 12 weeks program that we actually work with the girls through a lot of topics, even about STDs, about relationships, and we really create tools around them and create systems around them where they can go. If a girl is being molested, where can she go? Do we have access to the authorities in the area? Do we have medical facilities in the area? All these things. So we take the whole dignity discussion further and we make it fun, we make it interactive. And also, I didn't just want to come and give pads and go. I wanted to have relationships. You see, for me, this is a gap. Just like we are meeting the gap and the need of girls not having sanitary pads, there's also a gap of girls having somebody they can talk to. And I thank God for our mothers. I thank God for our aunties and our sisters. But I really want to see girls building a community around themselves that they can talk to each other and they have people that they can go to and talk freely. Don't feel like you can't say something. You can say you are going through a hard time. You can say you're going through self-esteem. You can say you're struggling with your schoolwork. You're struggling with relationships. We want to create this space that girls can actually talk. And that is what the Dignity Day is about. As I speak now, we are planning the next, at the beginning of September, the 2nd of September rather, we're going to be in a school in Kibra and we're going to go and have the Dignity Day with the girls who are in the final class of primary school, class 8. So we'll spend the day with them, interact and talk about purpose, identity and belonging and menstrual hygiene and health. I love the topic on identity. It's my best one. That's the one I highlight always, because I have had my own journey of discovering myself and walking through my identity, trying to find who I am without my titles, who I am. I grew up without a dad. I didn't know my father. So I had my own struggle of really finding my journey. Who gave birth to me? Where is he? What is my son name? And all this. I really struggled to find my way. And today, I know that I am a child of God. I know without the titles of being a HR professional or being a mother, I am a child of God. I am known by him. I am loved by him. I can touch other lives and so on. So I love the identity topic, because every one of us is unique. Every one of us is as unique as our fingerprints, as unique as our fingerprints are, as unique as our vocal cords are, as unique as our eyeballs are. That's how unique our identity and purpose in God is. Yeah. So that's Dignity Day for you.
Amen. I love Dignity Day. and I love the whole thing about identity, because that's always one of the foundations of the work that we do, is to get in young people to know who they are, right? And you and
Yes.
I both can share in that story. I might have been in my 30s by the time I really dealt with my true identity, right? And so it's like, how do we cut that learning curve, right? And how
Yes.
do we start instilling that into girls at a younger and an earlier age, right? To
Exactly.
cut all of that foolishness out, right? And to help
Absolutely.
minimize, right,
Absolutely.
all that identity crisis, right, that we all experience at one point or
Yes.
another,
Oh, yeah.
and will
Oh, yeah.
continue to, but helping to navigate that with understanding purpose and the call that God has on your life is so profound. So just thank you again so much for what you do. And so I just want to know, just, so there's too many things when we talk about Blessed Girls and the work and empowering the girl child and the impact. And I think I had shared with you a story, because one thing as well as I deal with, of course, the relationships, sexual risk avoidance, and having
Yes.
those real conversation with girls, right?
Yes.
Let's talk about it. Right? Let's talk
Oh,
about,
yeah.
if
Yes.
you're thinking
Yes.
about losing
Yes.
your virginity, what does that look like, right?
Yes.
And not letting it happen, but really having a plan and a purpose, for your own life. And so I love to hear that you deal with that. And you also, I believe sometimes you deal with even educating the young boys, right?
Yes. 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 We
And
do.
how important and vital that is, as well. So if you want to share a little bit about that, and then I would love, like a great success story, or if someone came back to you and told you, or you might have somebody that's a part of your team that had this great experience. If there's anything like that, that will, bring it in as well, I would love those two topics. I definitely want to make sure you cover before we let you go today. Okay.
All right, cool. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, so I know we have spent a lot of time on the girls, but we do have a partner that we worked with sometimes back, and they really are our go-to person who works with the boys on the leadership development aspect. So on the boys, we have a partner that we worked with. They are called Emerging Young Leaders, and they have a program called Life. So in the live program, they talk about, they have a whole training day, lead your life, lead your project, lead your money. And there's one more, I think it's lead your project. So on all of them, we involve all the boys, especially the high schoolers just about to leave school, 18-year-olds, 17-year-olds there, so that they can also be able to have a balanced conversation between the boys and the girls. I am a leader of my own life. I take charge of my life. I'm not just on autopilot. I have a plan, I have a purpose from God, and I am going somewhere. And that is where we bring in the boys. And I am actually in conversation to reach out to Dignity Day. They also have a program for boys. Beside the Dignity Day, they have DARE. They call it DARE, DARE. So we're going to explore that, and we can begin to talk about it. But I've really been praying that God will raise up more people that are also taking up the aspect of the boy child, so that we don't have an imbalance in the interventions that we have. So once that is going, I'm definitely going to keep you posted so that we can also involve the boys. As far as success stories go, let me talk about the girls that are part of our team. We featured them on our page. If you want to go back to our page some few weeks ago, we have a girl called Cynthia. I met Cynthia in Kayole, and that time when I went must have been 5 years ago, maybe 2017, 2018. She was in high school, and she was the head girl of the school. So every time we'd finish the project, she'd be like the one doing the vote of thanks. So I continued to listen to her and hear her story and how she's grown up. And Cynthia has finished school. She's gone on to do her training. She's now working in one of the leading restaurants in Nairobi. And Cynthia, I hope you're hearing us, and I hope you can read her story. So Cynthia has grown up right in the slums, and she was one of the beneficiaries of our pads. And she tells us how girls would struggle. Some of the girls would be coming from homes where the parents are given to alcohol, or they really cannot afford a meal a day. When they do casual jobs, whatever they make, that is what they put food on the table for. So some of the parents are willing to help their girls, but they just don't have the means. So that is to say, for them, when we give them the sanitary pads, it becomes a very key, a very big welcome need, a need that is met. So we started off by giving them one pad, went to 6 months. Every year when we go to Kayole, we make sure that all the girls in teenage age, they get 12 packets of pads. So Cynthia is on our team, and she can be able to tell her story. I do have another girl that I work with. I hope she will also be able to tell her story also. Met her through a different program that was called Cherish. I was called in to come and help and facilitate the program back in the day, and she became really a daughter to me. I work with her. I have seen her grow. She went through high school. She had a baby while she was in high school, and she's become part of our team. So when we talk about the issues that girls go through, she can really relate, whether it's self-esteem, whether it's the challenges of being a teenage mother, whether it's the challenge of really finding direction in life, because we all know every one of us gets there where you're in a crisis. I don't know what I need to do with myself. Why am I here? Where do I need to go? And as we speak, she's a nurse in training right now. Her daughter is growing up very well, and I'm really happy to have them on my team. I have one more girl that has taken a break, but she's actually still part of our team. She also grew up in Kayole. Her name is Felishna. She's now doing the spoken word, boldly speaking about, the issues of society. And she tells her story through the spoken word in the National Theatre. And I look at her and I'm like, wow, she's shining. And when we met them, they were part of the girls who benefited from the sanitary pads in Kayole. So when I look at them, for me, they are the bright shining stars. And I always tell this foundation is your legacy. You will be where I'm standing. You will be training the girls. You will be inspiring them. You will be the big sisters. You will be the mothers in the future. So I'm grateful for our team.
I love that, and I can see the smile, the love. I know. See, that's really what keeps us going,
Yes,
and that legacy, and it's bigger than just one person. So
Mm-hmm.
people will see you and I here and think that, oh, you know what, Talitha is just about Carol. Blessed Girls is Dr. Anana. Absolutely not. It's just about impacting the legacy, changing the lives of others, and each one, and that domino effect, right?
Yes.
So we might touch one today, right? But that one touches 10, and then
Another,
that 10 right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm grateful for that vision, for that impact that God has given you, and then the joy, right, that we get in return. That is priceless.
It's
right?
true. It's true. There's something about touching a life. There's something special about making a change in somebody's life. It just gives you joy. It gives you much more. I had a mentor who used to tell me, stress focuses on self. So when you're stressed, you just me and myself and my problems. Sometimes you just get out and focus on someone else, and your world becomes brighter and bigger, and you make
For sure. That's good, because and I say that sometimes, like when you feel like that stress, or you're worrying about different things, just go give. Just go be a blessing to someone else, and you will see that shift. You will not stay, you cannot stay in that space, right? If you were giving and doing for someone else, it will just shift your whole spirit, your whole energy, and your whole perspective. Go out and do something to somebody else. Go be a blessing. Go buy somebody coffee. Go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Just go pay it forward. Just go do something, and you see how it'll shift your whole mindset, your whole spirit, and your whole energy will shift by doing that. So we're blessed for that opportunity. We absolutely are. So I just want to again just say thank you. It was a journey for us connecting, but God's timing, right? He's always on time. He brings us together, right, in the right season, in His time, and for His purpose. And I just thank you for your obedience. I always say that because if you would have given up, and I'm sure we can't say how many times you felt like giving up, but the fact that your fortitude, your stick-to-itiveness is just highlighted. And I think it was Cynthia was one of the young girls, Felicia,
Yes.
you named just a few
Yes.
names. And I
Uh-huh.
know that there's many more that you probably may not even never know. Right? Those
Mhm.
names that we will never know that their
Mhm.
lives were impacted, and their future, the trajectory of their future was changed just by the work that you do, and for
Yes.
you and your team. So I'm just grateful for you being that youth civility champion for us. We're looking forward to more and more as we move forward,
Amen.
in
Yes.
this time, in this season. And I'm just going to turn it over to you to just give any closing remarks, anything that you want to share with the audience before we close out today.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Nana.
Yes.
I'm really also truly grateful to have met you and what you're doing. Thank you so much for everybody that sent us cards through Blessed Girls. We're going to take them to Kibra when we go this month. And I love every lady who wrote a note to the girls. We're going to take time and give them moments to just read and feel your love. So I just want to say that when you give towards sanitary pads, I always say it's your gift. It's a gift that keeps on giving. It's a gift that is making a difference. It's a gift that is going so much further than you can, because you given sanitary pads to a girl. And I just want to say that I believe it is possible for us to end period stigma, not to have taboos around talking about periods. It's possible for us to end period poverty. Every girl can have the basic need of a sanitary pad or whatever means they can be able to do for them to be able to have intervention during their periods. Also, it is possible for us to build our girls to work on purpose. Let me tell you, when we show them the way that we are giving you this and you're becoming better and you're working on your purpose, that is always going to have a ripple effect. So Talitha Teens does have big dreams. We have very big dreams. I do have a dream that I want to see teenage girls get a second chance to go to school so that they don't just stop and give up, that they come back and continue and pursue their dreams. We're going to be working on that and really praying that we're going to get partners for that as well. So it's going to be an education fund. We also have a dream to be able to build a center. I love to call it a resource center, where we can be able now to have a place for us to have all our mentoring activities there and all these programs that we have, and maybe even a counseling center where the girls can come and be able to find a safe space. I think there is so much going on. We live in a broken world, but we can be the solution. We can meet a need in other people's lives. So I want us to be able to create a safe space for girls to come, to talk, to find big sisters, to find help, to find medical help, and all that. And that is part of our dream. So I pray that we're going to get people that can join us and work with us and really support this mission. So together we can be the hands and the feet of Jesus to say, little girl, I say to you, arise, Talitha Kum. Thank you.
All right, arise, arise. Don't you start nothing here today. Oh my goodness. I have my amazing sister, one of our midwives, Zincle from South Africa, and her ministry is Arise and Shine Airs. And I just read one of her posts today talking about Arise. So you just confirming that in that space. So I just thank you so much again for all that you do. And I love again, we talk about the synergy, the collaboration. So looking
Mhm.
forward to Talitha and Blessed Girls working together and impacting like together, right? The
Together,
impact that we
yes,
can
yes,
have
yes,
to uplift our girls. And we just welcome you. I mean, again, it sounds like, and I know that Talitha is doing such important work, that you are addressing this issue of period poverty and empowering young people, and not just girls, but young people. And even by doing that, empowering women, because it's about it, with your team. But period poverty is really a significant issue. It,
yes,
it
it is.
truly, truly is. And it can have a profound impact on the
Yes,
lives of those affected, the individuals that play a crucial role is you and I. And not just you and I, me looking at you, but you and
Mm-hmm.
I, those that are watching us,
Oh
right?
yes.
To
Oh yes.
understand
Every
that,
one of
listen,
us.
you can play a role, right?
Yes,
You
you can.
might not necessarily can connect and go to Kenya with Miss
Mm-hmm.
Carol. You might not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily can connect and travel with me to various places, but each
Mm-hmm.
one can play a vital, vital role, and we can
Yes.
create and bring positive change globally. So I want to invite those that are interested to please visit our website. We're going to have more information. Of course, this broadcast will be there. We're going to have
Yes.
more information about Talitha, about our partnership moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
And so we want you to visit our website. I believe you're on Facebook as well, right?
Yes, we are.
YouTube. Okay, go
Yes, we are
ahead.
on Facebook and we are on Instagram.
Okay, very, very good. So I want you to go there, connect, see how you can learn more about the organization's mission, the projects, and of course, how you can contribute to the efforts moving forward. And you had just mentioned the notes. And I have pictures of even that. We actually had another mentoring organization that we partner with. I think it's She Works.
Okay.
And please, and that's one of our Blessed Girl ambassadors. She's also a youth leader there, and so
Okay.
she connects with Blessed Girls, making the connection. And she had the young girls and the women write the notes that
Oh,
went along with
so
each one.
special.
So you see, it's
So
just we're
special.
just so much
Yes. Yes.
stronger together. Right.
Yes, we are.
So we're looking for others to join us, to contribute, join our team, our projects, right? And how you can contribute to ending period poverty, supporting the cause that directly impacts the well being, right? And
Yes.
the dignity of many,
Yes.
of
Oh yeah.
absolutely many. So I
Yeah.
thank you, my sister, for being here. We want you all to stay tuned. Again, if you're watching in the replay as things come, please always tell us your name. We'll be watching. We would love to connect with you. Our
Mhm.
sisters at Talitha would love to know who's watching all around the globe. Thank
Yes.
you. I saw some people. Martin, thank you for joining. We'll go back and make sure we recognize everyone for being
Yeah.
here. But thank you for engaging, sharing the broadcast, and visiting our website. So thank you so much, my sister. All right.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you
Indeed,
so much.
indeed. All right. So, in closing, we just want to again say thank you to all of our blessed girls all out there that are connecting with us. And we always tell you to be bold, to be you. And that's, of course, what the founder, Ms. Carol, was talking about today. Your true identity. Be true to that. Understand the purpose and the call that God has on your life, right? And to walk that out and to be blessed girl. So, remember, to connect with us, go to our website. We're on YouTube, Blessed Girl TV, if that's what you're watching from. If not, make sure you go and subscribe and follow us on the various pages as we move forward. So whether it's through donations, whether it's through volunteering or any other means of support, everything matters. If it's helping us package our barrels and sending things out, you'd be surprised. But I'm just grateful for the connection, for the collaboration, and the God ordained relationships. Right. And so, God ordained relationships that I have now with my sister to move forward. And so, we want to always provide you with engaging content here on Blessed Girls TV. We want you to continue to learn the personal stories and get the updates on the initiatives that we are supporting and the projects that we have. And again, continuing to build the strong connection with you, our audience, and inspire you to take action. Take action today. So, again, my name is Dr. Anana. I'm grateful for spending this time with the founder of Talitha Teens Foundation and her endeavors to end period poverty, to uplift the lives of those in need, and her dedication, her efforts of the Talitha Foundation. My name is Dr. Anana. I'm grateful, grateful. Be bold, be you, be blessed girl. And we do that by telling and encouraging everyone. The acronym of blessed is listen to be bold. Right? It's going to take courage. It's going to take confidence, but it's going to take a bold leap of faith to do anything in regards to purpose. The L in blessed is to be a learner. You learn something every day. Okay. Look for the lessons, right? Be a learner. The E, right, is to excel, right? To do it in an excellent way, to look for doing it, being the best that you are, right? And then the S is to shine. Make sure you shine, baby. Shine. Shine your light everywhere you go. The other S is to soar, right? Be the eagle, knowing that you got to rise above the storms. You are to soar. The other E is equality. We are equal. Dr. Anana is no better than my sister Carol, right? I am no better than you watching. We are equal. God created us equal with all of our each individual gifts. And then the D is determination. And today, hearing the story, meeting this amazing, determined woman, be determined, unstoppable, unmovable, stand on the purpose and the promises that God have given you. So thank you for watching today. Thank you for connecting. Go to blessedgirls.com, learn more about our projects and our initiatives. Have a great day.